commit it, because at the end of the day you'll be arrested for what you did not commit, but you have an idea. You were there when it was being plagued, like when you said the boy opening the auditorium for them to
just like you were talking about,
do their meeting.
He's an accessory.
Yes, at least if you report something, if you say something, it's your ability to walk away. You have the right, you have the freedom to choose between what is right or wrong. We have our choices.
You do.
We have choices.
I know. Like I tell you, I'm not quite adept in the Christian book. I am an open person. I study this religious book. The way I study Quran, I study the Bible, and I study a lot of religious books. You understand? But one thing I know there is an agreement is that God, the God of the Christians, the God of the Muslims, the other God that people serve, whichever way, I have not come across a God that accepts, tolerates disloyalty.
Yeah.
All of the gods I've read about, all of the God I have studied punish disloyalty.
Yeah.
Yes, and it shouldn't be taken kindly to. It doesn't matter who.
Yes, this also sheds a light on being vigilant. Being vigilant as an individual, always trying to be very aware of the kind of friends you keep, of the kind of people that are in your space, because you might just let's go out to hang out, and then they plan something and they just want you to be on the lookout for them, and then they say, oh, just stay here, tell us if someone is coming, and then you find yourself in trouble. So just be vigilant always in all your interactions. Be very vigilant, because this world is evil. It's something else.
Like talking about being vigilant and people who get involved, you know, a lot of time you see a lot of people fight unnecessary battles, and you tend to fight your friend's battle. You know, I did tell you that story when we grew up, that I have this friend. If I get involved in anything, he doesn't ask what happened. He gets into it. And we will fight. Then after we fight it, he would never ask question. He gets, except he doesn't have wind of it. He gets involved, and after that, when the whole battle is over, he must have dealt with you, you know. And then he would like, what happened? He will call me by say, what happened? Alpha, what is it? And I was like, this. He goes, say, guy, you get to people. You know, but he has fought.
Yes.
So a number of times you see adults. That's where is this happening? Get into unnecessary battle. You begin to make enemy because your friend, this person is in enmity with your friend, and then you begin to take side. Why take side? Why fight another person's battle? And this quite the challenge. And that's where you see that the number of madmen that we are talking about will continue to be on the increase and will continue to be high, because a number of times we are enablers and we join in battles that we should not. And these are the madmen the Yorubas and the Igbos talk about.
All right, thank you very much for that. So please, as you go about your day, please remember that you shouldn't be the drummer for a madman, and you should be the drummer for another person's foolishness. Do not be an instigator of a plan. Do not be careful of where you are, your surroundings. Like I have said earlier, that you have the opportunity or the right to walk away from anything right or wrong. You have the opportunity. You have your mouth. You are the owner of your mouth. You are the owner of your ear. You can walk away from any situation that will compromise you, that will stand against you. And also, please try choosing peace, try choosing wisdom, and then also reflect on good action. And we'll be right back after the break.
The Arena with Chris and Ibogo is the platform where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you locked the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. You don't even play the politics.
Month in, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing pro-people policy to assuage the harsh economic reality.
It was used to settle political interest, and Nigerians were paying dearly for it.
Tune in to the Arena with Chris and Ibogo every Monday through Thursday by 1 p.m. only on Aneke TV. Join us.
You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. Next, we'll take a look at the weather reports across major cities in the southeast today.
Yes, and we're beginning with Oka. The day will begin mostly cloudy with a cool and calm atmosphere. As the morning moves along, expect light rainfall in some parts of the city. The afternoon will stay cloudy and warm, while the evening could bring a few thunderstorms. Temperatures will hover around the mid-20 degrees in the morning and rise to about 30 degrees Celsius later in the day. So if you're heading out, don't forget your umbrella. Rain is likely at some point.
Good morning, Coal City. Enugu will start the day partly cloudy, giving way to a mix of sunshine and clouds by midday. Showers are expected later in the afternoon, possibly with brief heavy rainfall. The weather will remain warm, around 33 degrees Celsius, but cooler by evening. A good day to plan indoor tasks in the afternoon and enjoy the evening breeze.
Good morning, Abakeleke. You can expect a clear and mild start. Cloud covers will increase as the day progresses, and showers are likely by mid-morning. Thunderstorms may appear later in the evening, but they will gradually ease off. Temperature will reach about 31 to 32 degrees Celsius during the day. It's a warm but slightly unsettling day overall.
And in Owerri, Owerri's weather will stay mostly cloudy throughout the day with occasional rain. Expect showers around the afternoon and a cloudy but calm evening. The temperature will stay between 26 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Celsius, so if you're out and about, light clothing and a small umbrella will come in handy.
Umuahia will wake up to cloudy skies and warm morning temperatures. Thunderstorms are expected around midday and may continue through the afternoon before easing off in the evening. It will be a bit humid, with heights reaching around 31 to 32 degrees Celsius.
And over to Umuahia.
So wherever you are in the southeast today, stay cool, dress light, and keep an umbrella close. Rain or shine, we've got you covered. That's your weather report for today, and we'll be right back with more updates.
The Insight with Uche Osai.
Having the political will to confront whatever is the challenges.
Igbo man wrestles with
the tortoise that had a lot of ingenuity, a lot of ideas, and the tireless.
It will take the bold mind of government in power to say, let there be electoral reform, no matter who sorts is God.
I was there. We did everything. All of us came and supported him with our last blood.
In-depth analysis, expert views, real voices, uncover the stories shaping Nigeria today. Deep dive, honest, unfiltered, only on the Insight with Uche Osai on Aneke TV. Join us.
The Arena with Chris and Ibogo is the platform where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you locked the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. You don't even play the politics.
Month in, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing pro-people policy to assuage the harsh economic reality.
It was used to settle political interest, and Nigerians were paying dearly for it.
Tune in to the Arena with Chris and Ibogo every Monday through Thursday by 1 p.m. only on Aneke TV. Join us.
Anambra State, located in southeastern Nigeria, is one of the nation's most dynamic and enterprising regions. Created in 1976, it takes its name from the Anambra River, a tributary of the Niger. Its land is steeped in history from the ancient Nri Kingdom, the cradle of Igbo civilization and spiritual authority, to the bustling commercial rise of Onitsha, one of West Africa's busiest trading cities. Every inch of its soil seems to breathe heritage, resilience, and the quiet power of innovation that defines the Igbo spirit. Anambra's people are known for their industrious drive, intellectual prowess, and unyielding creativity. Across Nigeria and beyond, they stand tall as business leaders, scholars, inventors, and professionals whose influence reaches every corner of society. From the sprawling market of Onitsha to the humming industrial machines in Nnewi, fondly called the Japan of Africa, the state exemplifies the fusion of tradition and modern enterprise. In Awka, the capital, new technology hubs and startups are springing up, harnessing the energy of a generation determined to build a future powered by knowledge and innovation. The state's endowments are immense. Anambra boasts of fertile soils that yield abundant harvest of yam, rice, cassava, and vegetables, feeding not just its people but the wider region. Sources: crude oil, natural gas, kaolin, and limestone, waiting to be fully harnessed. With a well-educated populace and a vibrant entrepreneurial culture, the state's economy is driven by small and medium-scale industries that continue to expand Nigeria's manufacturing frontiers. Culturally, Anambra is the heartbeat of Igbo identity. Age-long traditions and legendary figures like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Chinua Achebe, and Dora Akunyili, whose contributions have left indelible marks on Nigeria and the world. Its towns and villages are known for strong community bonds and progressive values that inspire excellence in every field. Anambra's potential lies not only in its natural and human resources, but in the unbreakable spirit of its people, a people who see every challenge as a call to greatness. With expanding infrastructure, digital transformation, and a thriving creative scene, the state stands poised to lead Nigeria into a new era of prosperity. It is a land where heritage meets ambition, where history fuels innovation, and where the light of progress never dims.
The Arena with Chris and Ibogo is the platform where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you locked the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. You don't even play the politics.
Month in, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing pro-people policy to assuage the harsh economic reality.
It was used to settle political interest, and Nigerians were paying dearly for it.
Tune in to the arena with Chris and Ibogo every Monday through Thursday by 1 p.m. only on Aneke TV. Join us.
You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. Now let's take a look at what's happening in front page newspaper today in The Nation, Punch, Vanguard and Guardian newspaper.
All right, and joining us to give voice to these stories is our guest, Chris Anibogu.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate all of you.
Welcome, sir.
You're welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, now to the headlines. Starting from The Nation headlines, we have airstrikes kill terrorists in Borno, pound holdouts in Katsina. And in the Punch headlines, we have on the Trump threat, we have troops pound terror bases in key states. And in the Vanguard headline, we have NAF strikes kill terrorists, bandits in Borno, Kwara, Katsina, others. And still on the Vanguard, we have why we declared Timipre Silva wanted, says EFCC. And on the Guardian headline, we have 33 years later, hope dims for safer pipeline supplies of jets A1 to airports. And our today's paper will be starting from The Nation headline that says airstrikes kill terrorists in Borno, pound hideouts in Katsina. In a major operation by the Nigerian Air Force, NAF, precision airstrikes targeted terrorist strongholds in the Lake Chad area of Borno State and hideouts in Katsina State and Kwara State. The strikes reportedly destroyed arms caches and logistics hubs of the militant group Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP, and inflicted heavy losses. Mr. Ocha, I'd like to know your take.
All right. Expectedly, we've been hoping for this headline, knowing that since after Donald Trump did designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern and has gone ahead to warn of the possibility of withdrawing all the aid to Nigeria and other assistance if Nigeria doesn't take action. So we were hoping, we know that yes, the Nigerian government will not just sit idly and watch, that yes, actions will be taken. And we hope that this action would begin to bring the expected results. Chris?
Yes.
We're talking about our Air Force rising up, our military, beginning to pound the strongholds of these terrorists.
Yes, of course. I think it's a cheering news. It's a welcome development. It's a heartwarming to know that our gallant officers, whom the country spends much in training, because if you know what it takes to have a soldier trained, it takes huge resources, financially and otherwise, materially as well. It takes a long period in training to have a soldier actually, deemed qualified to go into the theater of war. So I think it's cheering enough for us to now know that, yes, of course, we have gallant soldiers who are equal to the task. But then again, is the fact that in as much as some persons sitting on the sidelines could say this is as a result of the warning from Donald Trump about a possible invasion, not necessarily invading Nigerian territory, against the Nigerian state, but against the, enemies of states, the non-state actors that have taken, power into their own hands, trying to take the rest of us in the country into siege. So Donald Trump's warning has come. We've had reactions from different quarters, both nationally and internationally. We saw the position China took, the position one or two other nations have taken as well, either in support for or against the United President's position. But again, I don't know if you were privy to have followed the warning from the leader of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Adeboye. I don't know if you.
What did he say?
So in his own message, he was trying to admonish our president not to take heed to the position of China and some other superpower nations that they're only trying to play politics with the whole situation. He actually admonished our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to reach out to Donald Trump diplomatically and appeal to him to give the Nigerian government a period of 100 days, okay? A period of 100 days for them to come back and deal with these terrorists and bandits. He equally advised the president that within the 100 days of grace that the U.S. president will be giving, that he needs to summon the service chiefs and talk to them decisively that this time around it has to be business unusual, that they need to do the needful and wipe out these terrorists within the period of 100 days. So that was the message from Pastor Enoch Adeboye to the Nigerian government and president. So if that is to hold water, you can now see that our military gallant officers are actually upping up the game against the terrorists. If we are not able to wipe out up to 200 ISWAP members at a tick. So what are we not talking about? Where have we been all this while? What has been happening all this while? Why haven't we actually been doing much like this before this time around? Some other persons also want to feel that maybe it's as a result of the change in the military hierarchy. We now have new service chiefs appointed, and in their oath of office, especially in their what do you call it? Yes, during their swearing-in ceremony, I could hear most of them, feel in high spirits, promising Nigerians that it's going to be a different ballgame entirely under their watch. So let's just say kudos to the Nigerian military force. We say well done to the Nigerian government. But then again, is the fact that we still need foreign assistance to deal with these terrorists. Because the news also has it yesterday about how a particular community in Kano and even as well as Bauchi came under attack by these terrorists, killing a lot of persons and abducting the other persons too. So they are not giving up yet. They are still not giving up. So, but well done to the military. Well done to Nigeria.
All right. Speaking to this, you've heard our guests on this issue. However, I will still believe that our military and our government, yes, should toe the path of diplomacy with the United States of America, being that Donald Trump is someone that, yes, listens and panders to diplomatic engagement. Our military in this time, we applaud them for this kinetic approach. I would think that this kinetic approach should be sustained. We will not celebrate the results that we are being told about until we see that the IDPs return back to their home, until they are resettled in their home. Then only shall we begin to celebrate the victory, the success of these operations. Then, speaking to the international community, who applaud our president in this regard, yes, to listen to, like our guest did mention, to the likes of Adeboye, that Nigeria should not be turned to a theater of prosy wars. No, the path of diplomacy would see us out of this situation. And next, we'll go to the next newspaper, Deborah.
All right, now next paper coming from the Vanguard headline that says, "Why we declare Timi Press Silva wanted," says EFCC. According to the commission, Silva is wanted in relation to an alleged conspiracy and dishonest conversion of about $14.86 million, and those funds are said to have been provided by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board (NCDMB) for investment into Atlantic International Refinery and Petrochemical Limited for refinery construction, and apparently diverted. A warrant for his arrest was issued by a federal high court in Lagos on 6 November 2025, authorizing the EFCC to bring him in.
So, Mr. Chris, we are still on it. EFCC Timi Press Silva this time around.
Call it another comedy. You know, if you follow the turn of events in this country, it will amaze you to see that once the politics becomes heated up, you know, from nowhere, we'll just begin to have this comic relief coming from, you know, distraction coming from the main issue on the table. Our politicians and political leaders have a way of, you know, playing out the script. I don't know who writes the script for us, but I think we are good actors in this country, as a matter of fact. But looking at this drama now, well, who is Timi Press Silva? A man from Ijo, he's from Bayelsa. A one-time former governor of Bayelsa State, where he served one term, and he has been interested in serving out his second term as governor of Bayelsa. Well, he was opportune to have served Nigeria as a minister under the former administration led by late President Muhammadu Buhari, where he was very, very prominent among the cabinet members of that administration. Well, Timi Press Silva, well, if the EFCC says they're after him because of cases of corrupt practices, you know, held against him, well, we may understand. But what we really do not understand is the other twist to the matter. This whole matter came up with Timi Press Silva when we started getting stories around the military coup that was planned against this government, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's regime. We saw where military officers were said to have been arrested. All of a sudden, we started getting reports that a former governor from somewhere in the southern part of the country, Nigeria, was actually indicted to have been part, if not having masterminded, the coup d'etat that actually was foiled. And when we heard that Silva had fled overseas, well, we saw his aide coming out to say that he was not running. Are you getting the point? That he wasn't really running, he was not escaping arrest, but then he was just going on medical grounds overseas. So, if not that the government is not trying to, you know, shield certain information from Nigerians, I think it's high time we come out clean and clear on the failed military coup that actually took place, that actually would have taken place, because up till now, even those of you within the media space, I doubt if you have enough information about that planned coup that was said, the perpetual coup that was said to have been foiled. Who were the masterminds? How was it orchestrated? How was it planned? Who are those behind the scene and those equally directly involved? We just hear that military officers were arrested. Who are these military officers? Who were their sponsors? So you see that the government seems to be very silent and playing politics with this thing. So Nigerians deserve to know what actually is going on in their country. Military coup is not a child's play. Military coup comes to topple an elected government, and if the people of Nigeria has given their mandate, you know, mandate to this particular government enough in place now, anything that's going to disrupt it, dismantle it, I think the citizens deserve to know. either they kick against it because power belongs to the people. So, but then the way the government is going about it, the information is not so clear out there. We'll just begin to hear what they want to tell us. So, if Silva's, will I say, Silva's position in the whole affair is now ending up on the tables of the EFCC. If that's what they're trying to tell us, that it's no longer about the military coup, it's not about his corrupt practices. Well, the EFCC deserves to go after him if he's actually indicted. But then, we hope this will not just be swept under the carpet like every other matter in Nigeria, where we see elected political office holders get into power, the siphon our public, resources, and at the end of the day, nothing gets to come out from it. What has happened to the case of Yahya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State? Who has ever heard anything again from his side with the EFCC? So, we watch. But then again, we must have to caution the politics of ethnicity in Nigeria. The very moment someone happens to come from your ethnic nationality in Nigeria, then he is a saint. Even if he's corrupt, even if he's indicted of corrupt practices, you see his kinsmen trying to shield it. You'll be surprised to know that what happened with the case of James Onanefi Bori of Delta State, the former governor of Delta State, who was indicted overseas, served out his jail term there. We saw when he returned home to Nigeria, his kinsmen organized a very big welcome party for him, as if we are celebrating corruption. So if he's my brother, then he's a saint. If he's from another ethnic nationality, then he should be killed. I mean, they are not helping us as a people. Okay. So we appeal to the kinsmen of Silva. If the FCC has said he is wanted for corrupt practices, he should come and answer to terms. But if his case has anything to do with the foreign military coup in Nigeria, then the government needs to come and clean and tell Nigerians actually what has happened. That's just my own take about it.
All right, thank you very much for that. And then to the EFCC, we hope you're listening to us, and our advice is that you stop playing politics with some of these issues. And when you are certain that this individual is needed for investigation, see to it that you carry out this investigation beyond or not in front of the newspapers. We always hear about this arrest, but nobody gets to hear about how they ended. We don't get to hear about the prosecutions and the convictions that come out from this whole publicity. And then, speaking to the government, anyways, there are attempts to link this to the issue of a third queue, but until the government comes out publicly to tell us that there was actually a third queue, and then we'll begin to make these linkages to it.
All right, and that's a wrap on today's newspaper review. As always, you can grab a physical copy of your favorite paper from your nearest vendor or catch the full details online. Stay with us. More stories and trending issues will be right after this short break.
The Arena with Chris and Ibogo is the platform where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you locked the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. You don't even play the politics.
Month in, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing pro-people policy to assuage the harsh economic reality.
It was used to settle political interest, and Nigerians were paying dearly for it.
Tune in to the Arena with Chris and Ibogo every Monday through Thursday by 1 p.m. only on Aneke TV. Join us.
Anambra State, located in southeastern Nigeria, is one of the nation's most dynamic and enterprising regions. Created in 1976, it takes its name from the Anambra River, a tributary of the Niger. Its land is steeped in history, from the ancient Nri Kingdom, the cradle of Igbo civilization and spiritual authority, to the bustling commercial rise of Onitsha, one of West Africa's busiest trading cities. Every inch of its soil seems to breathe heritage, resilience, and the quiet power of innovation that defines the Igbo spirit. Anambra's people are known for their industrious drive, intellectual prowess, and unyielding creativity. Across Nigeria and beyond, they stand tall as business leaders, scholars, inventors, and professionals whose influence reaches every corner of society. From the sprawling market of Onitsha to the humming industrial machines in Nnewi, fondly called the Japan of Africa, the state exemplifies the fusion of tradition and modern enterprise. In Awka, the capital, new technology hubs and startups are springing up, harnessing the energy of a generation determined to build a future powered by knowledge and innovation. The state's endowments are immense. Anambra boasts fertile soils that yield abundant harvest of yam, rice, cassava, and vegetables, feeding not just its people but the wider region. Sources: crude oil, natural gas, kaolin, and limestone, waiting to be fully harnessed. With a well-educated populace and a vibrant entrepreneurial culture, the state's economy is driven by small and medium-scale industries that continue to expand Nigeria's manufacturing frontiers. Culturally, Anambra is the heartbeat of Igbo identity.
Still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. Alright, now we're taking a look at what's trending today concerning the Regina and Senator Ned Nwoko story. Nwoko, the senator representing Delta North, has publicly accused Regina Daniels of substance abuse, claiming her behavior and his intervention via rehabilitation. And Regina Daniels responded sharply, admitting past drug use, rejecting Nwoko's narrative as a diversion. She accuses Nwoko of using the drug issue as the perfect story for the media to cover the real issues between them. And she also claims that Nwoko encouraged her intoxication for sexual romantic purposes, which isolated her from her family and weaponized her drug issue to humiliate and also control her. And Nwoko counters with allegations against Regina's brother Sammy West, describing early morning confrontations, security footage of harassment at his home, and asserting that he financially supported Regina's family, education, apartment, large sums before the dispute. As we all know, this has been a trending issue. It has been a trending issue on social media for a long time now, and also we're going to talk about this issue between Senator Ned Nwoko and Regina Daniels. Well, there's been different sides of the story. There have been different take, and both people supporting her and people that are against her, especially with the issues of drug abuse. As you can see in reports or in stories online, that she was accused, actually she was accused of should I say drug taking? Yes, she was accused of drug abuse, and also with Senator Ned Nwoko saying or suggesting she goes for rehabilitation in Nigeria or somewhere else. And then as you can also see that there has been controversies about her statement and his own statement, saying that she's been violent, beating staffs at home, scattering the house and everything. And here Regina is crying out to people or to Nigerians that this is what she is passing through. And Princess, I don't know what your take on the story.
Okay, my take on this story is it's quite sad what's going on in between Senator Ned Nwoko and Regina Daniels. Well, we see that drug abuse could happen, could happen. But then it's just it's an allegation, yes. But we can see that it will to be as a result of being uncomfortable in her own space and seeking satisfaction, or rather peace, right, from other sources that will lead someone to go to drug abuse. So this will now bring a question: was Regina Ned house comfortable for Regina Daniels? Okay. Yes, we have a situation where, let's say it was true that she actually indulged in drug abuse. Yes, but we should still point the question back to the one who housed her, right? Who gave her the home where she lives. What conditions was she under that led her to take substance, to go into substance abuse at her age?
Another question I would even want to bring up is, you knew the idea or the fact that she was on drugs. So why is it now that we are knowing, as being a senator, being a public figure of Nigeria, why is the issue of drugs coming up when all this while it has not come up? For the fact, because in the report it says her brother Sammy West was supplying the drugs to her and she was taking it. Now you knew all the details. Why have you not said something about it for a long time, and not until recently that her issues that she came on social media posting about what she's going through in his house and everything, but instead it's at this moment you're saying she's on drugs, she has been on drugs. So why is it now it's coming out? That is another angle to look at it. So in as much as there are drugs allegations, so we don't know, we can't specify or we can't say certain if any of them are actually even using the drugs. Like, we can't say who suggested the drugs in the first place. Do you understand?
Yes, I guess I understand. That's a very good question, because it now seems to us that he uses that opportunity to open her dirty linen outside, and to the end that fans or she will get a bad reputation, which I just believe that this is a family issue and can be sorted out within the home without bringing it up for social scrutiny and commentaries, because it adds fuel to the fire. People giving their suggestions on an individual choice that two people made without us, and then we now have to give suggestions, and then it now inspires their actions and builds ego, and fuels their pride and their ego, when they could have just settle their issues amicably.
Right. Now, the question I want to ask is, when did love end? Or is it a question of when love ends?
Did you think it started with love? So did you think
We've seen pictures. We saw the private jets. We saw the pictures of a blossoming romance. We saw the love in the air. We watched the pictures. We saw their videos. They moved about. So, is it a question of when love ends? Like you've rightly pointed out, the family system is now in question. It's an issue that should have been a home affair. But these two individuals are role models in the society. And then, speaking to abuse, one thing that has been established here is that there is an abuse. Why allegedly Reginald is claiming that Ned is abusing her in their home, and Senator Ned Nwoko is alleging, because we've not seen her with the substance, that the wife uses substance in their home. But the abuse here is that of domestic abuse, one, and then for me there's an abuse of privilege. I think the senator is beginning to abuse his privilege. Why arrest the brother to your wife, or ex-wife I should say? Why arrest him? Why use your position to arrest the young man and keep under detention? And in this case I have to thank Showore and Mercy Johnson for standing up for the bail of that young man, because as at this moment I heard that the courts have granted him bail. You understand? Then when I speak about these things, nobody, no individual should abuse their privilege.
Okay.
And in as much as they go back and forth, they should remember that they are role models in the society. They are role models for a lot of persons.
Okay.
Our children look up to these people, their personality. They shouldn't be what our children should emulate. They shouldn't be this stereotype for families in Africa, in Nigeria as a whole. And like I did mention when this story became public, I said, the question for Senator Ned Nwoko is, if you are aware that your wife is making use of substances and you knew the suppliers, why didn't you take action then?
Yeah.
Is it now that the love has gone south? Then everybody's coming to the media trying to draw the sympathy of Nigerians. No, the clear case should be made here. There should be an investigation. If the woman is abused as she's claimed, then the senator should be able to be brought to give account, because it's a crime in Nigeria to abuse someone. And then talking about substances, was the senator aware that the wife is under the influence of substances? And he came publicly to mention the suppliers. Why didn't he go to the authorities? He had access, just like he has involved the police, he had access to the police, he had access to MDLEA. Why didn't he get these individuals arrested? Rather than come to list and reel out their names in public. No, the right thing should be done. And it's time everybody begins to take up their responsibilities, and whoever is culpable in this matter, because it is now in the public domain, should be made to face the penalties as a deterrent to the younger generation.
Yeah, all right, thank you very much for that. Well, we can still see that according to this issue between Senator Ned Nwoko and the celebrity Regina Daniels, that I wanted to say, do you think this matter will ever come to an end?
It all depends. You know, I was telling somebody the other day, despite this hula balloon that you're seeing in the media, you see, tomorrow you see Regina Daniel packing his back to the man's house.
Okay.
It has happened in the past. If it did happen in the past, it can happen again.
All right.
Right? So the bottom line here is, yes, like you did mention, it's time to not wash your dirty linens in the public, because right now every Nigerian has opinion on the issue. It's time for the senator, he has an image to protect. Regina is a brand as well. So it's time for maturity to play in. But one thing I will not shy away from is the fact that the public has been made aware for these things. A crime has been committed, and somebody should be liable for that crime. If somebody was indeed making use of drugs and the senator is aware of it, he is liable for not involving the authorities on time, which is why they should stop washing their dirty linens in public, go back as a family. Because when they started, I did ask, is it a question of when love ends? When they were lovey-dovey, we were not brought into it. A lot of people were, salivating, wanting a marriage like that. The women, the younger girls, when you speak to them, they want an odogu like
they
that.
want a declare.
So let them go in, let them not, be a dent on the kind of life our children learn from.
All right, thank you very much for that, and that is all for today's trending story, and we'll be moving over to our celebration for today, which is the Poland's Independence Day. Now, the Poland's Independence Day stands as a powerful symbol of freedom and resilience, and it represents the strength and spirit of the Polish people who endured hardship and fought tirelessly to reclaim their nation's sovereignty. And the day unites citizens in a shared sense of pride, celebrating the perseverance that led to their hard-won independence. Across the country, the atmosphere buzzes with enthusiasm as people come together to honor this significant achievement. And also the reasons for celebrating Poland's Independence Day. Poland celebrates Independence Day to honor the courage and determination of those who fought for their nation's freedom. The day stands as a beacon of the value of unity and the sacrifices made for the country's independence. It's not just about looking back, it's also about appreciating the freedom Poles enjoy today and recognizing the importance of protecting it for future generations. And celebration embody national pride and a collective commitment to never forget the struggles that shaped Poland's identity. Poland's journey to independence was marked by resilience and unwavering determination for 123 years. The nation was partitioned and ruled by three powerful empires, which is Russia, Prussia, and Austria. And these foreign powers attempted to erase Poland from the map, but the Polish people never gave up on their dreams of freedom. Throughout those years, Poles kept their culture alive, fought in upswings, and nurtured a deep longing for independence. On November 11, 1918, he was entrusted with command of the Polish forces, a significant moment that marks the beginning of Poland's rebirth as the independent nation. I'm speaking of Joseph Piłsudski, a revered military leader that returned from captivity in Germany and quickly took charge. Okay, now this day actually overall it's honoring the day and honors the courage and persistence of those who fought to restore Poland's place on the world stage and remind citizens of the sacrifices made to secure their benefits. So I'd like to say Happy Independence Day to the Polish people. And that's a wrap on today's edition of Sunrise on Aneke TV. It's always a pleasure having you on our show every morning. Thank you for waking up with us, and thank you for always being on Sunrise on Aneke TV. And also, do not forget to follow or tag us across our social media feeds, across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, or call our phone number 070-3043-7110. I am Deborah Wakoba.
A big thank you for staying with us today on Sunrise. I am Aneke Princess.
And I'm Uche Osai. Remember, you're not here to be average. Be unique. Keep watching Aneke TV till come your way same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All right.
Sex is sacred, not shameful. In its truest form, it is more than the body. It is soul speaking to soul, fire woven with trust, vulnerability clothed in consent. But when misused, it breaks more than bodies, it fractures spirits. That is why it must be approached with reverence, not recklessness. Let us teach to love before lust, connection before conquest. For when sex is honored, it becomes not just pleasure, but poetry.
Sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV, is one of the most pervasive and pressing human rights issues globally, affecting 1 in 3 women in their lifetime, often by intimate partners.
Abia State, nicknamed God's Own State, was created on August 27, 1991. From the old Imo State by the military administration of General Ibrahim Babangida. Its name, Abia, is an acronym for Aba, Bende, Isikwato, and Afiuku Umahia, the 4 major areas that initially comprised the state. The state lies in Nigeria's southeast and is inhabited predominantly by the Igbo ethnic group, who are known for their
The news at 3 on Aneke TV. First, let's look at stories making the headlines. Nigeria opens talks with the United States following Trump's explosive allegations. Nigeria Immigration Service and United Nations partner to curb online migrant smuggling. NAFDAC to commence a full enforcement of sachet alcohol ban by December. Kebbi State Governor calls for collective efforts in the fight against banditry. EFCC declares former Minister Temipre Silva wanted over alleged multi-million-dollar fraud. Imo State Governor dissolves Entraco following fatal accident in Owerri. UNN officials seek dismissal of forgery case against Minister Uche Nnaji. Enugu community refutes alleged land grabbing claims by companies. I am Amaka Nichi. Now the news in details. Nigeria's Minister of Information, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, says diplomatic engagement between Abuja and Washington remains firm, despite tensions triggered by comments from U.S. President Donald Trump. Mr. Trump had claimed that Christians in Nigeria face an existential threat and hinted at possible military action to address alleged persecution. The minister told reporters in Abuja that the federal government has opened communication lines with the United States to clarify issues raised by Trump's remarks. He explained that many of the claims were based on misinformation circulated by US-based lobbyists with ties to a proscribed separatist group. According to Idris, the Nigerian government considers such narratives misleading and damaging to the country's global image. He said ongoing diplomatic talks are intended to strengthen mutual understanding and correct misconceptions about Nigeria's religious and ethnic diversity. Alhaji Idris emphasized that Nigeria remains a strong partner of the United States in the global fight against terrorism. He urged Washington to base its assessment on verified data and continue support to Nigeria's ongoing counterterrorism and peace-building efforts. The Nigerian Immigration Service has entered a strategic partnership with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime to tackle migrant smuggling and human trafficking through digital platforms. The collaboration aims to curb the use of the internet for illegal migration and related cyber crimes. At a meeting in Abuja, the UNODC delegation led by Project Coordinator on Cybercrime, Baranage Marcus, pledged technical support and training to enhance Nigeria's digital surveillance capabilities. Marcos said the UN is committed to helping Nigeria strengthen coordination between immigration officers and global cybercrime units. Representing the Comptroller General, Deputy Comptroller N. Odipo described the initiative as timely, noting that traffickers are increasingly exploiting social media and online platforms to lure victims. He said the partnership would improve monitoring tools and facilitate cross-border investigations. The Immigration Service reaffirmed its readiness to work closely with international agencies to promote safe migration and protect vulnerable populations. Both parties agreed to expand data sharing and capacity building to align with global migration management standards. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control says it will enforce a total ban on the production and sale of alcoholic drinks in sachets and small bottles under 200 milliliters by December 2025. The move follows repeated extensions granted to manufacturers since 2023. NAFDAC's Director General Professor Mojishola Adeyeye made the announcement in Abuja, explaining that the policy is designed to protect young people and motorists from the dangers of excessive alcohol consumption. She said the ban is also a response to rising cases of alcohol-related accidents and social disorder. Professor Adeyeye confirmed that the Senate has directed full enforcement with no further extensions, stressing that the agency will work with security operatives and state task forces to ensure compliance. She noted that public health and safety remain top priorities. The NAFDAC boss reiterated that the decision is not punitive but preventive, adding that Nigeria cannot continue to trade the well-being of its citizens for short-term economic gain. She urged manufacturers to adopt safer, regulated packaging in line with global best practices. Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has called on the media, security agencies and the public to form a united front against the scourge of armed banditry in northern Nigeria. He said collective intelligence and cooperation are essential to ending the cycle of violence. The governor made the appeal at the Arewa Media Security Summit held in Birnin Kebbi, where he noted that his administration has invested heavily in security operations and community resettlement programs. He said unity of purpose remains key to restoring peace and rebuilding trust in affected communities. Governor Idris also cautioned against divisive narratives, urging journalists and analysts to promote messages that strengthen public confidence in security institutions. He said his government will continue to support joint operatives and local vigilance groups to protect rural populations. The summit, attended by former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazao, retired, and the Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, emphasized dialogue-based strategies as a long-term solution. The governor reaffirmed the Kebbi's commitment to inclusive peace building and sustainable security. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has declared former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Timipre Silva wanted over allegations of misappropriating $14.8 million earmarked for the Atlantic International Refinery and Petrochemical Project. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale confirmed that Silva's name has been placed on Interpol, FBI and UK Metropolitan Police watch lists following an arrest warrant issued by a federal high court in Lagos on November 6th. The agency says the manhunt follows weeks of unreturned summons and ignored invitations. In a reaction, Silva's media aide Julius Bokoro described the allegations as politically motivated. He said the former minister is abroad for medical treatment and will cooperate with investigators upon his return. Bokoro insisted that Silva's record in the oil sector is transparent and the refinery project remains legitimate. The controversy comes amid a House of Representatives investigation into $35 million in unaccounted funds linked to non-existent refinery projects in the Niger Delta. The EFCC says it will continue pursuing accountability and transparency in public sector investments. The Federal High Court in Abuja has again stopped the People's Democratic Party from holding its national convention, earlier scheduled for November 15 and 16 in Ibadan. The order follows a lawsuit filed by former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido challenging the legality of the planned exercise. Justice Peter Alifu, who granted the interim injunction, ruled that proceeding with the convention could cause irreparable harm to Lamido's right as a party member aspiring for the national chairmanship position. The judge also referenced an earlier order by Justice James Omotosho issued on October 31, which similarly restrained the PDP. The court barred the Independent National Electoral Commission from monitoring or recognizing the convention pending the determination of the substantive suit. Justice Lifu said the party must maintain the status quo to avoid constitutional and procedural breaches. Meanwhile, a related case before the Oyo State High Court has been adjourned for document submission. Some PDP members in Ekiti and Oyo State have accused judicial officers of interference in party matters, filing petitions with the National Judicial Council over alleged misconduct. Observers have described the just concluded Anambra governorship election as one of the best organized in Nigeria's history. Despite persisting concerns about vote buying and low voter participation, the election held on November 9 saw incumbent Governor Chukwuma Soludo secure over 70% of the votes cast. A post-election report by the Orient Foundation, an Aneke accredited observer group, praised the smooth logistics, early arrival of materials and effective security coordination across polling units. The report noted that INEC's BVAS technology worked efficiently, while the results viewing portal achieved a 96% upload rate on election night. However, the group observed widespread financial inducement and overvoting in several polling centers. The EFCC was said to have deployed officers to multiple locations after receiving intelligence on cash for vote transactions. The report also recorded a few cases of violence, including a fatal shooting of a councillor during voting in Owerri Ezukala. Despite the progress in technology and logistics, the voter turnout stood at just 22%, up from 10% in the previous election. The foundation urged the re-elected governor to prioritize inclusive governance, poverty reduction, and civic education to strengthen public trust in democracy. The National Youth Service Corps has released call-up numbers for 2025 Batch C prospective corps members, officially beginning the process for the next orientation exercise nationwide. The management says the allocation was done strictly according to the order of registration. In a statement posted on its official X handle, the NYSC explained that due to limited space in orientation camps, only about 40% of registered participants will be admitted in this batch. The remaining candidates will be automatically deferred to the next stream. The scheme said the decision aims to ensure proper accommodation and effective management of corps members during the 3-week training period. Authorities emphasized that no eligible graduate would be denied mobilization, assuring that all deferred members would be included in subsequent intakes. Governor Peter Mbah has reaffirmed the Enugu State's commitment to producing at least 3,000 health professionals annually through sustained partnership with the World Health Organization and other development agencies. He said the vision aligns with his administration's broader health system reform agenda. The governor stated this while receiving medical equipment and training materials donated to Enugu's colleges of nursing in Park Lane and Ogu by the WHO and its partners. The items include buses, computers, microscopes, power generators, and solar panels to enhance learning and research. Governor Mbah said the intervention would bridge workforce gaps and strengthen the state's position as a regional hub for healthcare training. He announced plans to expand health institutions, upgrade facilities, and fully digitalize medical education across the state. Hotel owners in Enugu State are protesting what they describe as the indiscriminate sealing of their premises by the State Board of Internal Revenue. They allege that enforcement teams have been closing hotels over disputed taxes without due process. Operating under the banner of the Coal City Hotel Owners Welfare Association, the group claims that some enforcement operations have been carried out while guests were still lodged inside. Including foreign visitors, more than 100 hotels have reportedly been affected in the recent 2 weeks. The association spokesperson said the body has taken legal action seeking judicial interpretation of the relevant tax laws and the legality of the government actions. He urged authorities to suspend further enforcement pending court determination. Aneke TV's correspondent Chidimai made a report that the dispute has disrupted hospitality services and raised concerns among investors. The state government has yet to issue an official response to the hoteliers' complaints.
Hotel proprietors in Enugu State, under the incorporated trustees of the Coal City Hotel Owners Welfare Association, have raised alarm over the continued sealing of their business premises by the Enugu State government. The hoteliers alleged that officials of the Enugu State Board of Internal Revenue have been shutting down hotels across the state over purchase tax and other levies, with guests including foreigners reportedly locked inside during enforcement. Over 100 hotels are said to have been affected. Counsel to the association, Barrister Chijioke Eze, told newsmen that the group has approached the Federal High Court in Enugu seeking judicial interpretation of the laws on value added tax and purchase tax. He stressed that while the matter is before the court, the government should allow due process to take its course and suspend further enforcement. Barrister clarified that the hotel owners are not evading taxes, but are concerned about double taxation, as both federal and state authorities allegedly impose similar levies on the same items.
We are here to state the position of incorporated trustees of Coal City Hotel Owners Welfare Association over the recent happenings in Enugu State on the particular issue. The issue here was that in recent times there is what I may call a demand for the payment of purchase tax by the government and equally land use charge. And we were briefed to approach the court, that is the Federal High Court, by virtue of Section 251, Sub 1, Paragraph E of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Federal High Court has the exclusive jurisdiction over matters on taxation. So we were briefed to approach the court to interpret relevant provisions of the laws relating to purchase tax. So based on that, we filed a suit number FHC/ES/CS/308/2025, wherein we commenced an action by originating summons seeking interpretation of relevant provisions of the law, especially the VAT Act, Value Added Tax Act, which gave the federal government the right to collect or receive purchase tax through the Federal Inland Revenue. Because there is this law passed by the Enugu State House of Assembly, that's the finance law of Enugu State, which equally gives the Enugu State Board of Town Revenue the right to collect the same purchase tax on consumables in the states. And we are saying, or we perceive that as tantamounting to double taxation.
Chairman of the association, Dr. Johnson Ugwoke, described the clampdown as excessive and harmful to the state's investment climate. He emphasized that hotels remain major employers of labor and contributors to Enugu's internally generated revenue. Dr. Ugwoke urged the government to await the court verdict, warning that locking guests and foreign visitors inside hotels during enforcement sends a wrong message to investors and the international community.
Hotel Owners Welfare Association is an association, a body of hotel owners in Enugu State here. We are investors in the state. We mean well for the state. Hotel owners, besides the state government, are the second largest employers of labor here. Our investment is huge here. In the same vein, like he said, we are law-abiding citizens. And as such, we expect that all our members will do the right thing by paying the relevant taxes, levies to the government, which most of us, if not all of us, have done so. But there are gray areas. The recent introduction of this purchase tax and the way and manner it's being, will I say, enforced, so to speak, is what is making us ask not just the public to hear us, but also the government to come in and redress this situation.
Also speaking, Chairman of the Society for Tourism Practitioners in Enugu State, Mr. Chidi Uchendo, recounted how he was denied access to the new EFCC director in Enugu when he went to address legal documents served on some hotel owners. He appealed for improved dialogue between government agencies and stakeholders to prevent unnecessary confrontation and safeguard the state's tourism image.
When I was with the EFCC people, we know what's going on now with EFCC. I was talking with their main person there, although they have changed another director to another director. So the new director, I wanted to see him. They said, no, I can't see him now, for now. And then the man who is there that blocked everywhere, Mr. Promise, is now going to the hotel, giving them some bills, 1.something million, 2 million, 3 million to pay.
Reacting to the allegations, a source within the Enugu State Board of Internal Revenue dismissed them as politically motivated. The source maintained that all taxes imposed are duly outlined in the state's consolidated tax notice and backed by law, urging the media to always verify claims before publication. Chidimi Kemede, Aneke TV.
Thank you, Chidimai Kemede, for that report. You're still watching the News at 3 on Aneke TV. Now we'll bring you the rest of the news. Edo State Governor Monday Okpegbolo has revoked the right of occupancy earlier granted to the Museum of West African Art, reclaiming the 6-acre land in Benin City previously earmarked for the project. The site was once occupied by the Benin Central Hospital, which was demolished under the Obaseki administration. The decision follows growing controversy after the Oba of Benin, Oba Ewuare II, accused former Governor Edwin Obaseki of sidelining the palace and mismanaging donor funds intended for the museum. The governor cited overriding public interest as the reason for the land revocation. Governor Okpegbolo In Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has suspended all operations of the state-owned Environmental Transformation Commission, (ENTRACO), following a fatal accident involving 8 enforcement officers in Owerri. The accident claimed the life of a motorcycle rider and left his passenger critically injured. The incident occurred near St. Mulumba Catholic Church along Akachi Road during an enforcement drive. ENTRACO's Director of Operations confirmed that the official involved has been handed over to the police for investigation. University of Nigeria Nsukka has filed a preliminary objection seeking to dismiss the certificate forgery suit instituted by former Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology Uche Naji. The university says the case is incompetent and outside the court's jurisdiction. In the objection presented before Justice Hawa Yelwa of the Federal High Court in Abuja, the defendants argued that the suit is statute barred and that the plaintiff failed to exhaust internal remedies available within the institution before approaching the court. The matter was adjourned to January 13, 2026 to allow all parties time to respond to the university's filing. Justice Yelwa ordered that all relevant documents be properly served before the next hearing. The federal government and Edo State are partnering to transform the state into a leading hub for livestock production, covering red meat, poultry and dairy. The collaboration is part of a national effort to strengthen the food security and agribusiness value chain. Minister of Livestock Development, Edi Maiha, announced the partnership after a meeting with Edo's Commissioner for Livestock Development, Professor Omodion, in Abuja. He said the federal government will rehabilitate key ranches in Igara and Ubiaja and provide technical support for sustainable animal farming. Maiha explained that the project would enhance job creation, reduce import dependency and attract private sector investment into livestock production. He assured that the government is committed to implementing modern ranching and disease control practices. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has announced a further reduction in the price of diesel and aviation fuel across Nigeria. The company says the decision aims to ease inflationary pressures and support key sectors of the economy. According to the management, diesel will now sell out 940 naira per litre, down from 1,050 naira, while aviation fuel will drop to 980 naira. The refinery attributed the price review to improved supply efficiency and reduced logistics costs. Economics have welcomed the move, saying it could help stabilize transport and manufacturing costs ahead of the festive season. They noted that the refinery's price cut demonstrates the impact of increased domestic refining capacity on market dynamics. The Super Eagles' preparation for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers has officially begun in Abuja. Team officials say the camp opened on Monday with 20 players already on ground ahead of Friday's clash against Guinea in Conakry. Coach Finidi George says he's confident the team will deliver a strong performance, noting that players from both local and foreign clubs are showing impressive form. He urged Nigerians to rally behind the squad as they aim for a winning start. The Nigeria Football Federation has confirmed that Captain William Chus-Ekong and striker Victor Osimhen will join the team by Wednesday. Training sessions will hold twice daily at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Football analysts believe the match will be crucial for Nigeria's confidence and ranking. A win, they say, would set the tone for a smooth qualification campaign and restore faith in the team following recent mixed results. Nigeria's sprint queen Tobi Amusan has clinched another gold medal at the World Athletics Tour in Monaco, solidifying her comeback to top form after a challenging season. Amusan won the 100 meters hurdles in 12.36 seconds, finishing ahead of American Kendra Harrison. The victory marks her third consecutive win in the series and boosts her global ranking ahead of the 2026 World Championships. Amusan dedicated the medal to her fans and coaches, thanking Nigerians for their unwavering support through difficult times. And in entertainment, the family of Nollywood actress and senator's wife Regina Daniels Nwoko has filed a $1 billion lawsuit against a social media blogger over alleged defamation and cyber harassment. The suit was filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja. According to court documents, the blogger allegedly published false claims regarding the actress's family and business activities. The family's lawyer described the publication as malicious, damaging, and intended to tarnish reputations. The statement added that despite formal requests to retract the post, the blogger refused, prompting the decision to seek legal redress. The family says the lawsuit aims to deter online defamation and protect the rights of public figures against digital abuse. And that's all on the news at 3 on Aneke TV. Before we end the news, here are the main points. Nigerian Immigration Service and United Nations partnered to curb Kebbi State Governor has called for collective effort in the fight against banditry. Imo State Governor has dissolved Entraco following fatal accident in Owerri. Enugu community has refuted alleged land grabbing claims by companies. And that's the news at 3 p.m. For more updates and breaking stories, follow Aneke TV across all social media platforms or call 0703-043-7110 for eyewitness reports. On behalf of the producer, Chidema Asoba, I am Amaka Nnichi. Thank you for joining us.